The first step you must do is choose your niche. There is no magic formula to become a recognized influencer. However, you will need the charm to please your followers and to be always at the forefront of trends, because in the digital world, the last thing you want is to lag. But there are secrets you can start using to stand out. One of them is to target a specific niche. In other words, to stand out, you must find a target audience to address, and to do that, you must talk to them about a specific topic, something you stand out in a unique way, and in a way that makes you stand out from the rest. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 or 100,000 followers. What this ensures is that by speaking to a group from a specific niche on a particular topic, you will achieve an audience that is highly committed to your content. This commitment will ultimately translate not only into followers, but consumers of your content and an audience that is loyal to you and trusts your judgment. Also, it will undoubtedly make brands want to approach you, eager to reach an audience committed to your criteria. So how do you choose a niche? The answer will depend on you and your skills, because if you are strong in the kitchen, you cannot target an audience that loves fashion design, or choose as a niche the manufacturer of summer clothes. Does this mean that you should stick in only one thing? Not exactly. Everything in its own time. In social networks, there are millions of people who create a great deal of content and target different audiences. In other words, there is something for everyone. Choosing a niche is a task that requires time and planning, especially if you intend to stand out among so many people who may be doing the same as you. How can you choose a niche and not die trying? To do this, you must start by writing down a straightforward list with all the things that interest you. Put a special emphasis into those topics of your interest, the best that suit you or those that you want to display in your social network. Probably you will find that your range on tastes is enormous. Do not worry so much about it. We will narrow down the options you've thought of later on. This works. Now pay attention to the following explanation. Focus on a single niche. By now, you should have written down all your interests and skills. These can be turned into niches. Some niches are trendy and social networks within which they stand out: fashion, art, travel, food, geek, couples, leisure, babies, gamers, makeup, comedy, photography, and fitness. For example, let's say you like the fashion niche very much. However, this niche is extensive by itself. Therefore, whatever content you post in your social network of choice might not be specific and lack the impact that you want, because it would be too general and diffuse to stand out. As general as fashion is, you can select something even narrower. Options are endless if we get ourselves used to thinking outside the box. Following the example with the fashion niche, we can find various topics such as garment making, fashion blogging, fashion design, fashion trends, etc. You can also narrow your niche even more. For example, if you are a fashion designer, just being one and talking about it won't suffice. You can be even more specific by talking about making swimwear. Following this idea, you can talk about making swimwear only for ladies or only for men. So if you feel you have chosen a broad niche, you can go even deeper and adopt a smaller one. As you will see, making a thorough lookup of what to give to your followers or subscribers is worth it, since they love to know that they will find specific and unique content in your site. Therefore, it's up to you to be as specific as possible. 2. Aim for an audience. Another essential step to success on social networks is knowing who you want to target. For this task, you can look for inspiration in other accounts targeting the same niche as you. It's completely valid if you choose to aim for a similar style of the accounts you looked up for inspiration. It's not about copying them, but about being inspired by them. This inspired aesthetic will help you identify yourself to an audience similar to theirs and help you find a similar follower base. Study your inspirational accounts carefully, find their most successful posts, and try to break them down into their core elements. This analysis will help you generate a similar post. Everything works as long as it's with your personal touch and from your originality. Evaluate according to your content. What would be your ideal audience? That is, if what you like to do is show your creative process as a fashion designer, you cannot aim at a gamer audience. 3. Choose a leading social network. The last, but at the same time the most crucial step, choose a network on which you want to establish yourself. This doesn't mean that you have to open an account in only one network and only dedicate yourself to it now. But you should start in one initially, at least while you consolidate your content and build up a community. There are many networks where you can create content. For example, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are the most popular. However, YouTube can grant you quick fame if you use it correctly. TikTok became the most downloaded social network in both Play Store and iStore in the last year. To choose a social network to work on, you first need to know it, know how it works, and why not, its secrets. This knowledge will also help you find a network that identifies with you. For example, it's not the same to upload images to Instagram accompanied by a caption that makes you fall in love and seduce the customer as making a video for YouTube that engages the subscriber enough to see the whole thing. The best resource to exploit your full potential is to understand which social network you want to be on and make the most of it. Currently, the most used network in trend and growth are Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. However, this does not imply that other social networks are losing relevance. Still, it would be very advisable to focus on the place where there is a higher number of people. Therefore, these 3 networks are the perfect target to become an influencer and be the target of the most recognized brands.